How's it going, everyone? This is Soul Singed here, and I wanted to take the time today to talk about something that happens every year, but it's going way overboard this year, and that is the leaked XXL freshman list. Now, every year, months before the freshman list actually comes out, the list leaks. Now, every year, this is a fake list that is made by someone who's not even associated with XXL. A lot of times it's not that accurate, and it's presented as the real list being leaked, but it's nothing more than a fake list made to drum up publicity. A lot of times, a very small rapper will make this list and put themselves on it to try and get people to look into their music, but it never really works, and most people at this point have accepted the fact that these are all fake, but they're still interesting to talk about. Now, this year, people are going way overboard with this. I've seen 4 or 5 leaked lists already this year, and some of the picks on these lists are so outlandish. It's like they're not even trying to make these leaked lists look official. They're not even trying to make them look legit, because I'm going to go over each of these lists, and you'll see that it is... some of these picks are just downright outlandish. So without further ado, let's just get straight into these supposedly real leaked freshman lists for 2022. Which I also find it weird how there haven't been that many people making 2022 XXL freshman predictions, but now that these leaks have come out, everyone's talking about them. And I find that kind of weird, but whatever. Let's just look at these lists. Okay, so this first list, some of the picks make sense, some of them do not. First up, we have Young Lean. Now, I understand why someone might put Young Lean on the list, but he's not a good pick for XXL. I know a lot of people, especially people that don't really follow hip-hop that closely, especially the underground or the SoundCloud rap scene, they look at Young Lean as this new rapper that's just now blowing up. But really, at this point, Young Lean will be considered a super senior, 6th, 7th, 8th year senior if he was put on the freshman list. Because Young Lean has been making music for close to a decade. He is a SoundCloud legend. He is a underground legend. He has more or less pioneered the SoundCloud wave. Even his song that blew up last year originally came out 8 or 9 years ago. So I don't see any way where Young Lean makes a list, simply because of how long he's been in the rap game. And he's been somewhat known. Like I said, he's been an underground legend. It's not like someone like Clever, who had been making music for close to 20 years, but was completely unknown until, 2018, 2019? And then next up, we have Yeet. Now, Yeet actually makes sense. I think a couple of these lists have put Yeet on them. But, yeah, Yeet is actually a good choice. I feel like he might be the kind of artist who would turn down the XXL list, because I feel like that would fit in with his persona well. But I definitely think that Yeet is a lock for 2022 if he doesn't reject it. Next up, we have Can, who, from what I understand, is very close with Yeet. I'm not really familiar with his music, but I have definitely seen his name around a lot, so I think he's a plausible choice. Next is Mike. I have no clue who that is. Next is Juice WRLD, Tribute Cypher. That doesn't make any sense because Pop Smoke was originally the first freshman picked for the 2020 list. And since he had passed away, they did acknowledge him, but he was not a freshman. So why they would choose to make Juice WRLD a freshman in 2022 makes no sense. Especially considering that Juice WRLD was actually picked to be a 2019 freshman, and he turned it down. So again, Juice WRLD could have already been on the freshman list, but he turned it down when he was alive. And he was already way too established in the rap game when he did die to be considered as a posthumous freshman. And then next up we have Sofago. they spelled his name wrong, but he is definitely a solid pick. I feel like he is a lock for the 2022 freshman list. Uh, but yeah, that's actually a good pick. So far, the only two picks that I 100% agree with are Yeet and Sofago, and then Can is plausible. Next, we have, I don't even know how to say that, never heard of them, Uno the Activist. I have heard that name around, and I know he's been in the rap game for a while, and I haven't really heard much from him recently, so I don't know how relevant he is. So, yeah, I'm going to say that's a pretty poor pick. Calvin Miller, never heard of them before in my life. YB and Corday was a freshman in 2019. How could he be on the freshman list when he was already a freshman? Another pick that makes absolutely zero sense. Next one is Playboy Cardi. Again, Playboy Cardi was a freshman in 2017. Like, are the people making these fake lists that out of touch with rap? Because Playboy Cardi has been relevant since 2016. Magnolia came out, I believe, in early 2017 or maybe late 2016. Somewhere around there is when Magnolia came out, which is the song that really blew Playboy Cardi up into the mainstream level. So Playboy Cardi has been relevant for a few years now. He was on the 2017 XXL freshman list. So there's no way they could have an artist be a freshman twice. And next up is Baby Blue. I have no clue who that is. And here's this other freshman list that is arguably more outlandish than the last one. Mostly for two picks. We have, on this list, there's Zello Purrs, I've never heard of. Tyboy Digital, I've never heard of. Eco 2K, I think I've heard that name around, but I never really heard any of their music. Blade is a more hyperpop artist, and they've been in the rap game. They've been around for quite a while. On this list, the only choice that makes sense to me is Cochise. That's the only one I could see making the list out of this list. I feel like so far we've seen Sofago, Yeet, and Cochise are the three that I 100% agree with being on the XXL list. First, the three that really stand out to me as being horrible picks are 100 Gex, Island Boys, and Tom McDonald. Now, I actually like some of 100 Gex music, but they are 100% hyperpop. Now, I get it, there are some artists like Deco or Midwest or Blade that sort of blend hyperpop and rap. But 100 Gex is full 100% hyperpop. They don't really incorporate rap into their music at all. And on top of that, they are the most extreme hyperpop. You have some hyperpop artists that have a more mainstream appeal, like Charlie XCX, Glaive, Midwest, that can kind of appeal to a more broader mainstream audience. But then you have rap artists like 100 Gex that are 100% hyperpop. They don't really mesh into the rap game at all, and they are the most extreme form of hyperpop. They have zero mainstream appeal. So they would be a horrible pick for XXL. Plus, their music style would not mesh well for like an a cappella audience since they pitch up their vocals so much in their music. And then the other two really terrible picks are the Island Boys and Tom McDonald. I'll start with the Island Boys. The Island Boys are not rappers. They are clout demons that are trying to build a career off of internet stunts and social media antics and use making rap music as an excuse to justify these antics. They have only, between the two of them, I think they have less than 10 songs released, and then the Island Boys song that is actually popular. Another thing that people don't realize, they're not called the Island Boys. They actually had, the Island Boys is just the name of the song they did together, but the actual rappers themselves is like Fly Soulja and Kodiak Red or something like that. But yeah, they're nothing more than clout demons that had their acapella of Island Boys blow up as a meme, and they ran it into the ground, and they've kind of completely fallen off since then. So there's no way I see the Island Boys making the freshman list, unless XXL puts them on there because they know it will drum up publicity and controversy. And then the next up, we have Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald is a terrible pick for XXL. I'm sure most of you who are familiar with my channel will know this, but I can't stand Tom McDonald's music. I think most of his lyrics are stupid, and overall, I think his music just sounds like shit. But even ignoring my personal preferences, Tom McDonald is just a bad pick for XXL. Tom McDonald being on the freshman list would make Tom look bad as well as XXL look bad. Because Tom is basically an anti-rapper. A lot of times in his music, he criticizes the mainstream rap, constantly talks bad about rap, which doesn't really make much sense considering he is a rapper. So he constantly talks bad about rap, which pisses off hip-hop fans. The vast majority of rap fans do not like Tom McDonald. Now, since the kind of music he makes attracts a lot of non-rap listeners, so the vast majority of Tom McDonald's fans do not listen to rap. So you have people who are not in touch with hip-hop culture at all. I guarantee most Tom McDonald fans wouldn't even be able to name 10 rappers. So you have them who likely don't even know what XXL is, or if they do know, they don't care about it. And then you have the actual hip-hop fans who consider Tom McDonald to be one of the worst rappers of all time. That would not end well, because putting Tom McDonald on the freshman list would piss off virtually the entire hip-hop community. And then it would piss Tom's fans off, because that would be putting Tom right up there on stage, right next to all the rappers he constantly talks bad about. So yeah, Tom McDonald, there's no way he will make the freshman list. He may have the popularity to make the freshman list, but with his persona and audience and everything, there's no way Tom McDonald would be on the freshman list. And then we have this list, which is probably the most accurate list that I have seen. East G. A lot of these are names that I've heard of, but I'm not really familiar with. Dusty Locane is an artist that not a lot of people have mentioned making the XXL list. But I personally feel like he should. Because, like I said in my prediction list, I don't follow drill at all. So the fact that they have there's a drill rapper I've actually heard of. He's very similar to Pop Smoke. Doing pretty well for himself, so I could definitely see him making it. Erica Banks is another artist I could definitely see making it. The only real issues on this list that stand out, apart from some of the names I haven't heard of, is the Island Boys again, which I already covered them, so I'm not really going to get into them in the beginning. And then Leroy. Now, I'm assuming that is Kid Leroy. That pick makes no sense because the Kid Leroy has been in the game for too long and is way, way, way too big. In fact, I think XXL actually offered a spot to him and he rejected it. I'm not positive, but I think that actually happened in 2020 or 2021. It was right after Kid Leroy really blew up. Plus, he's kind of like in Post Malone's situation where he's kind of a rapper, but not really. He makes more pop music, but is still in the rap game. Either way, Kid Leroy, not a good pick for XXL. And then this next one is another one that is probably the best one. Don't really see anything that stands out as bad or anything. Yeah, out of all of these leaked freshman lists, this is the most legit looking one. And here is the last leaked freshman list that I found. And this is another one that has a lot of weird picks. So first off, we're starting off with Tom McDonald and Island Boys. I already covered those. And next we have Dax. Dax is not a good pick for Double XL. He's been in the rap game for too long, and he is one of those really niche rappers that only the super duper lyrical, spiritual miracle heads find enjoyable. Most people just find Dax to be corny and trash. And he's pitched the last couple years, and he hasn't made it. Like I said, he's been known since around 2018, 2017. So Dax is not that good of a pick. And it also doesn't help that over the last year and a half, he's gone fully into that lyrical, spiritual miracle, I'm a woke rapper type phase. He's kind of gone the direction of rappers like Tom McDonald, but not quite as extreme. So yeah, I definitely don't see Dax making the list. And then we have 100X again. I already covered them. Green Arts, have no clue who they are. I Show Speed? No. I Show Speed is a Twitch streamer that has made like what, 3 or 4 songs? 3 or 4 meme songs that aren't meant to be taken seriously. Now, his music's not awful if you listen to it with the context of it just being meme music that he made for fun. But as in a legit artist, nah. Aiden Ross, never heard of. Mario Judah. Mario Judah blew up back in 2020 and then fell off once the whole Mario Judah whole lot of red thing kind of died down. Once that died down, Mario Judah has been completely dead. He has dropped 2 songs in 2021 and 1 song in 2022. And even in 2020, he only dropped like 3 or 4 tracks. So Mario Judah has not been active musically, and no one's even been talking about him. I felt like he could have squeezed his way into the 2021 list to kind of use it as a way to restart his career. But at this point, he is completely irrelevant. Now, he could start dropping music again and building up a fan base, and he might be able to get on the 2023 freshman list. But with the way things are currently looking, there's no way Mario Judah makes the 2022 freshman list. And then the last artist on this list is Quandale Dingle. I have no clue who this is. I've never heard of them. I tried to look into it, and it seemed like some kind of meme rabbit hole that I didn't really feel like going down. So, from what I can tell, I don't even think this Quandale Dingle is a real artist. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but this is another list that is definitely fake. It's definitely not true. But it's weird how Island Boys have come up several times. Tom McDonald has come up a couple times. And 100Gex has come up a couple times, and these are all artists that have 0 chance of making the freshman list, so I don't even know why people would predict them, let alone try to say that they are going to be on the list. But, yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I apologize for the way I've sounded. I am currently pretty sick with a really bad cold. It's all in my chest. And I really shouldn't even be making videos right now. I originally was going to plan on just not making any videos until all this passes. It's like there's not going to be a BattleBots review this week. I feel too under the weather, and I really didn't want to make this video because of the way I'm feeling, but this is one of them things that if I didn't make it, by the time I would get around to be able to make it, it would already be completely dead and buried. So I apologize for the way I'm sounding, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe. We're getting very close to 2,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. And, yeah, peace.